Ro-ro ships, car carriers, they all come together. They are similar to passenger ships because of horizontal separation. See, we knew about one hold to other hold to other hold. Okay, this is a standard feature on all the ships. There is a separation. On these ships, you can't load cargo only here. You have got a lot of capacity. So you have got a parking lots created. That is how exactly what your parking lots are. Correct? And you have seen that shooting of video also. So lots of horizontal decks. They can be 10 decks, 12 decks. Depends. Okay, size depending on the size. Now what happens is, along with this, you have got decks created with parking lots to store vehicles. Now what happens is, you want to use them from double bottom tank onwards right till top, till you can fill it up nicely. Okay. So there is one ramp behind. Ramp is always above water level. Okay. It is quite means there is a sufficient clearance down. So it may be about say 2 meters, 3 meters above summer water line. That is, one is here. Now it is generally on quarter. Quarter means either port side stern or starboard side stern. One place generally it is there. Some ships have got it right in the middle. So it depends. All three options are there. And then many ships also have got one in the midship where they can open it. So they can do, if they're discharging and loading in the port, they can speed it up. Or many ports, the specialist places cannot take ships turn in. Okay, so they don't have stern ramp. So then you use the side one. Suppose this ship is in the port. There is one ship ahead and one ship behind. There will be problem. That's why a lot of them have got on the corners. And some of them also you will find middle ones. But it will be on port side, starboard side. Also it is possible it may be only on one side. That means every time ship has to go alongside, say starboard side means starboard side always. Port side means always port side. So those options are also there. That happens with cargo gears also. Some ships have got cargo gear designed only to operate on one side. Those are variations in the ships. Now, stern part also has got engine room. So the ramp is above engine room. Engine room is closed from top. So vehicles will travel over engine room. Okay, they will travel over engine room, and except two sides there will be exhaust pipe, the funnels. Two sides will be there. Funnels, like say two sides, funnels will be going up, and the middle part is a ramp part where the vehicles are driven over the ramp. And once you come in on the ramp, now what happens then? You have got option. You go down, you go up, you go 2 decks down, you go 3 decks up. That is internal ramps. So there is an external ramp and there is internal ramp. Internal ramps are many, deck to deck. So it is just exactly like a parking lot type of stuff. Or supermarkets, not supermarkets, say our shopping malls. Shopping malls have got underground parking, right? Sometimes they have got 3 levels. It's something like that is your Roro ship. So if you get chance, go to a mall and have a look at the parking place. Same thing, exactly same thing. Okay, except so malls have got a service center and all there, which is not there on the ships. Got the idea? Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now many of these internal ramps can be lifted up and closed. Okay, many of them. Some of them are fixed, some of them can be lifted up when the job is over so that you can use that place for loading. Okay, depends. Some of them even load vehicles on these ramps. Possible. But Anyway, coming back to this. Then standard ballast tanks, all double bottom, for peak after peak. Standard ballast tanks. Then to give better stability, they have side tanks. Now there is a difference in side tank and wing tank. Side tank goes partially. Wing tank goes from bottom to double bottom to the deck. It's a wing tank. Otherwise, you have got a side tank. Side tanks are all lower level, because here another thing what happens is ship shape is curved like this. So what happens? I want to load here. I am going to lose the space. So this corner, I create a tank. Why this tank helps is if you have got cargo on top, this is top heavy, then there is a stability because you have added the weight at the lower side. So that is why you have got side tanks, and plus correcting the list. Now every deck has got efficient arrangements for quick lashing of the vehicles. The quick ones, tuck, it goes. Opening also is fast, and all decks are gas proof. Gas proof means gas cannot leak between the two. Why? Because there is always presence of the, gasoline vapors or any other fuels you have got, because there is little fuel in the tank just to load and discharge the car. So that little bit also will keep on evaporating. So that is where there is a chance. So there is a heavy capacity ventilation system which starts when the first car drives in or first vehicle, and it is switched off when the last one leaves. Otherwise, it's always on. Then, very efficient fire detection and extinguishing systems. Now, one of the things always remember, since we are on the topic, fire detection, you want to know as soon as fire starts, or if you get warning before the fire starts. That is what we will like to have. Unfortunately, that is not possible. So we detect the fire when the fire starts. So it's very efficient, very sensitive. You get alarm telling you exactly where is the fire. And extinguishing system is a challenge. If suppose one car catches fire, my job is to extinguish that and save rest of the cargo, right? I'm fighting the fire to save rest of the cargo, other cars. So I cannot damage it by using some sort of different, very strong methods. I have to have the exact method which will not damage the car. Means there will be a recovery value even after fire. So you don't want it to get destroyed while fighting fire. So there are very advanced systems, extinguishing systems, that you will be studying in fourth semester. If I am still around, I may be teaching you. Okay. Then I gave you example of cars and all, which you can say vehicles anyway. Pure car carriers, you can add up extra decks. Why? Because car height is generally much shorter than say other vehicles like trucks and all, or buses. So you can have extra decks. So then that's why PCCs, the pure car carriers, came in. Now one problem they face. They face a very strong wind area. This is a huge area for a wind to act. So sometimes ship, instead of being straight like this, it's like this if a strong wind is on one side. So they have to think about that also. Then many ships have got adjustable decks. Some of the decks, part of it is adjustable. You can lift it up, you can lower that. You saw there in that movie. Internal adjustable ramp system is there, and a lot of ramps can be flushed. Means lift it up, get it in the level, load more. This a lot of stuff is possible. Lot of variations in this, but this is the way you will be drawing. And when you draw a PCC or say a Roro ship, you draw like this. You show this funnel from the side. You show the ram, usual bow, stern arrangement, propeller, rudder. Show the decks and show these ones, these ramps. Show these ramps, because without that it is not a Roro ship. You have to show like dotted line ramps. or a light line. I had drawn light here, but you can draw dotted lines and show ramps on every deck. Okay. Now, see, it is so much identical to the passenger ship because there are so many decks. Here the difference is crew accommodation, officers accommodation is on bridge deck, or bridge is a small place which is raised on top of one deck. The topmost deck is always occupied as a crew accommodation or officers accommodation mixed. They will have, because here what happens is you have got cabins on both the sides. They are not really big ships, the PCCs and all. Generally they are quite small. So nice size cabins and all, they are right on top. So the rolling effect is more. The more people will get seasick there. And many of them also have got stabilizers. Stabilizers are there because they don't want rolling, because excessive rolling can damage the cars if the lashings break. So they have. And then you have got these vehicle decks below accommodation. Now see, the accommodation is pulled in. It is not stretched from one end to other end. It's possible, but normally it is pulled in because width will be generally more. Here what we need is one common passage in the middle. One cabin here, one cabin here, and then you go lengthwise till you come somewhere. Maybe separation will be there, then officers and then the senior officers and all. And then you may put a bridge on top for navigation. Then you have got vehicle decks. They are not generally A deck, B deck, C deck. They do it. Some they may be numbering them, but there is again no rule. Every company can have one own. Now we draw amidships. Okay, amidships cross section has got another issue on these Ro-Ro ships, because if you cut in the middle, you will find only decks and double bottom and some side tanks. That's it. Where is engine room, machinery space? Now, machinery space and related things, what is required is all to aft. So midship, if you cut, the engine doesn't extend up to midship. So you have to show it with dotted lines and all, that yes, engine room is there. And then if you draw this upper diagram, this one, here you mention clearly this is machinery space, and then you show this is cargo space. Okay, here. So everybody is clear that yes, cargo space is there. You have got an idea what you are talking about. See here, for example, if this is water line, you will have side tanks and all here up to here, the sides. Why? Because especially where there is a curvature, you may have a different shapes and all to make sure that for cars you have got straight one, so that there is no issue. Oh, you can have curved areas also, but the deck is straight, then there is a gap on sides. So sometimes you say, why keep gap? I will close it. So again, it goes in designing, and these ships have got stability issues. Either you can call it a greed of loading excessive weights on the top without realizing there is no enough weight at the bottom, making it negative GM, or strong wind from one side can push the ship. They are very soft, means they don't have very strong stability like what I will say bulk carriers or ore carriers and all. That's excessively strong on ore carriers. Here it is little soft. But double bottom tank, you show the side tanks and all the vehicle deck. You can name them A, B, C, D, or you can say number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Is it clear? Bolo, yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You are happy. Actually, I feel sorry that you all want to come to college and start. But unfortunately, we still are waiting for all proper processes clearing, But don't worry. You are toughened up now like a seafarer, at one place for so many months not going out. Okay, now we come to gas tankers. They were a great challenger for building up, because what happened, traditionally we think ship's body is to means must come in contact with the cargo. Whereas the next thing came were containers, where the containers come in contact with the container sides or internal surface. They don't come in contact with the ship. Tankers and all cargo comes in contact with the ship's surface. PCC and all, it doesn't come in contact, but the bottom part is touching the deck, so it is in contact. Gas tankers, the first challenge was you got the gas. Once upon a time, they used to just burn this gas. In 1960s and all, oil stations. They used to get oil as well as gas. So they used to burn the gas so that it will not create explosive atmosphere and just pump the oil. And the flame used to be always on. And they had even arrangement to shoot it from a distance and start the fire. Then, as usual, people said that why should we waste the gas? So gas carriers came. Now, obviously, main thing is if you have got refineries close by, you will pump the gas directly by pipelines if it is within range. But what happened was the Gulf countries were getting gas, or the gas or oil production countries were not developed countries. So they had to export it. So that is where the first challenge came. You have got a gas. How will you carry gas? How much pressure can you hold? Then somebody says, but why don't you pressurize it till it becomes liquid? Then it will be the minimum volume. Minimum volume means we can ship more. Very good. Then next thing comes, if you have got something at those temperatures, can steel hold the normal shipbuilding steel? Obviously, answer is no. You need specialist alloys which are extremely strong. They can handle these temperatures without giving, in metallurgy, you will learn about these fractures of the metals and all at sub-zero temperatures. You will learn it someday. Okay. So, challenge is how do you carry? So, somebody came out and why don't we make the tanks? We make the tank first. We will make a ship skeleton, make the ship as the way supposed to, and leave the middle part open where we will install these tanks. So, all the gas carriers, there are three types actually, like fully pressurized, semi-pressurized, and other one is only refrigerated. So that using the by dropping the temperatures also you can do the job. So there are inert metals used like grades of stainless steel, not standard stainless steel what we use at home. It's a different stainless steel. So tank is here. You put things inside. It is extremely cold, minus 150. The fridge is generally around ice chamber, maybe around minus 10, minus 12, minus 15, not beyond that. Here you are talking minus 150 and still cooler than that. But around, different cargoes have got different temperatures. And so the tanks were created. Now it is a metal. Metal is a good conductor of heat. So you want to insulate them. So you created insulation for it. So these tanks were made and installed on the ships, in the ship's cavities. And then the support members were there so it doesn't move and all. That is how it was done. And then there are different types of pumping systems, etc., etc. Now even these designs have been changing. Older ships you see dome like things. Newer ships you don't see that. You see something raised. But generally to identify gas carriers is you see a good freeboard. Means a big freeboard. So how do you do it? Now here again the same rule is there. You have got a cofferdam space. These are the tanks created and installed on the ship. Then in the middle there will be manifold where you connect the pipes. You still need to discharge that liquid, no? It is in liquid form. And then there are different types of pumping systems. Some of them have got submersible pumps, some of the different types. But you have got a manifold, you have got a crane, then you have got mast risers to release. These are mast risers, okay, to release gas into atmosphere if there is excessive pressure, or when you are cleaning from one cargo to other, it's possible. Now there are rules and regulation how much you can do and what you can do, what you cannot and all. Then they have got extra tanks because the previous cargo residue can be refreshed. Then there is additional machinery for reliquefaction. Means, see, with this temperature of say 25 degrees, you still have, even insulation is there, everything is there, there will be some evaporation. So pressure will build up. Now what do you do with it? Simple solution. Put it in a compressor, re-liquefy it and put it back in the cargo. So that machinery and all is here, like generally. Lot of machinery is here. Then there is a walkway aft to forward, pump room or a cofferdam because cargo bulkhead cannot share with engine room. Remaining parts bow, bulbous bow, foremast, superstructure, funnel, engine room, mainmast, and the propeller. This is the side view. Now another side view comes like this. Here the tanks were there. These tanks are circular types. Okay, because different gases have got different types of characteristics and all. So these are older designs. They are circular tanks, like spherical, and they are put there. And many of them have got flatter bottom, but rest of it is like this. So it is changing now. You don't see these ships much now. These are older generations. But same way, tanks are installed. Side also is empty. Tank is in the middle. See, this is the cross section of LNG. What happens is, one of the things, remember, gas carriers do not have port center starboard. They have got only center tanks. Only center tanks. No port tank, no starboard tank. Like holds, you can have single hold or you can also have double holds. But normally single holds everywhere. But here it is always like tankers, you have got center tank, port tank, starboard tank. Not on the gas carriers. Gas carriers, there is only middle one tank. Now, the interbarrier space, then, just remember there is a membrane, then there is an inner hull. Ship has got double hull. So this is inner hull, outer hull. Then there is the insulation stuffed around the tank to ensure that it doesn't get heated up. Side water ballast, because if the ship is going empty, they also do one way, one ballast passage, one loaded passage. So on ballast passage, you have got this capacity to ballast. Here also same story. You may not have duck keel. Generally, there will be no duck keel because you have got really nothing at the bottom. Maybe there may not be, but normally no, because this insulation and a lot of stuff gets involved, so it becomes more complicated. So you will have the double bottom tanks, port center starboard or port and starboard for ballasting. And then this is the cross section. This tank is inside, and then it is covered again to give little more insulation, because you realize when you're carrying cargo, this is empty, this is empty, everything is empty. Now air is a poor conductor, so at some stage it will stabilize and you will have less heat traveling through. And then on top you have got the usual walkway, pipelines and so on, and reliquefaction plants. So it depends. Normally, you have seen the types of ships. There are spaces which are created only for these purposes. Then inside tanks are all shining. Actually, I've seen the photographs of some of our cadets who were on these ships. Now, any questions on these gas carriers? Hmm? Anybody? Any doubts? You all are there, no? Are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Ah,
sir.
otherwise, how
Yes,
am I supposed to know? So at least say no doubt or doubt, whatever it is. So any doubts? See, you have to draw these cross sections. Huh? This one, then this is profile view. Preferably draw this one. Okay, even if you show all tanks, it is fine. If you have to draw. Or you draw this, but make sure all the tanks look same, not big small. Okay, this is because I had some problem in doing it on computer. So that is where the shape changed a bit. Okay.
So,
Ah,
so
yes.
what's the advantage or disadvantage of having a rounded tank?
See, what happened is these tanks are exposed to the atmosphere. First thing. So the heat can impact because even though whatever insulation you put, it can never be 100%. So the tank is exposed outside in spite of there is a cladding, there is a insulation on top. And theoretically, the spherical shape is better to hold the pressure. That is how the pressure acts on it. So initially everybody went because the technology was such. Later on the better technology came where you can make different shape of thing and still it is as strong as required. But here you have hidden all the tanks away from atmosphere. So your heat insulation is more efficient. Got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Keep it simple right now because once you go deeper in it, then it is a full-fledged study. So you should know like two liners, why this, why that, and then you start building on it. Yeah, if you start doing big answers on simple things, you will have a problem later on because then a lot of mixing will start right now, and then mind will get clogged up. Anybody else? Anyone? So should we go ahead to the last part? Yes, no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good, good,
So,
good, good.
sir,
Okay, the last ones are combination carriers. At one stage we had designs like oil bulk ore. That means it used to be like a ship with a center hold for loading bulk cargoes. It used to be one way loading bulk cargoes, other way around load oil. That time you clean up everything and load oil in all the three tanks, port, center, starboard. Those they were not double hull requirements. That design failed because commercially you could not really get that size, cargo plus the oil, and it was little too complex, and they had other issues like construction issues, and also normally they disappeared probably by 1990, means about say 30 years ago they disappeared. And then there were problems, safety issues. So a lot of companies who had oboes, what we used to call oboe, who had oboes, they discontinued carrying oil in them. They said it is not uh, feasible because of safety requirement. It was accident prone. Sometimes it has happened, the whole hatch covers have blown off. So it's not common. Now you have got some side of combination carriers. Now there were some designs that time. Partly you carry oil, partly you carry uh, say like ore or a bulk cargo, but nothing worked because what happened in a commercial world, here are two different locations, all these trades, so it didn't really work well. So the experiments went through 1970s. Whatever ships were built, most of them got scrapped by 1990. 20 years used to be average age of a ship. So they build them. Later on, they use them as bulk carriers. So you will find some references here and there in books and all, combination carriers and all. But really speaking, combination carrier today is probably ferry, which carries passengers as well as some of them carry small amount of cargo, especially inter-island ferries and all, small parcels, and some of them also carry the vehicles, and they carry those ones. You can say probably combination carriers, but they're generally small ones, not something a big size. And then there are some ships which are part ro-ro and part container. Means they can load the ro-ro cargo plus the containers. Those are also towards end of their life. But those are specialist designs, they will change. So nobody will ask you this. If anybody asks you this, I really don't know what to say. Because normally what one should be asking you question is from these gas carriers, ro-ro ships, passenger ships, container ships, oil tankers, bulk carriers. These are the ones normally one should pick up choice from there because these are current ships. General cargo ships practically don't exist today because just imagine a good general cargo ship could carry about 12,000 tons cargo, 10,000 tons cargo. Today, large, this very large container carriers are there which carry 20,000 TEU capacity ones. They carry about 2 lakh tons, 200,000 tons of cargo. So where 10,000 and where is this? Okay. So on this chapter, do you have any questions? अभी क्या आया? Okay. Do you have any questions now? This I should be able to put it by tomorrow. I will put these lectures on the YouTube. And next class we will be going through some videos on this topic. So right now, do you have any doubts, questions? Hmm? Tell me.
No,
Yeah.
sir.
No.
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
You understand what I am talking?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
I am not using too many heavy words and all, no?
No, sir.
So it's a normal, simple English with some mistakes here and there. Correct? Huh?
Yes, correct, sir.
Yeah, but that is how it is life. In India, we have got actually our own way of English. Okay? And somehow we are not projected it enough. Somehow we have little bit of only Queen's English and British English and all like this. We lack that identity, a proud identity of Indian. That is our general problem. With education, we lose our identity. And unfortunately, the ones who have got identity are ruffians very often. So then you say, "अरे ये पागल से ये अच्छा है." Like that it is. We'll soon, your generation will create different identity of India altogether. Our generation, guys, used to see a white man and their accent is to change. So it goes through. Some of the guys used to have solid accent and all put up just to impress that how sophisticated they were and all. You will be more natural. Hmm? So, anything more? Any other doubts?
No, sir.
No doubts also. There was one guy, एक बुड्ढा सरदार जी था. His name was Daut Singh. You know why? This guy was from Navy, and then he wanted to join. He had joined merchant navy, and those days there was shortage, so people were taken in, and he had to appear for exam. And poor guy, elderly guy, he had tremendous struggle so he could clear only librarian certificate or something, and he used to find some employment and all. And plus, he had retired from Navy, the voluntary ones or something, so he had some income from there. Now, he was a very meticulous guy. He had collected, there are about, those days, there used to be about 20 question papers made. And 20 to 25, this is what I have heard. I have not seen, because, out of that, one was given for the exam. So the guys who were strugglers, they collected all these from here, there, what question was asked, write down after every, and then collection was passed. So it was rumored that this Singh had all the question papers. So some cadets, like all cadets are always smarter. So some cadets were smart. They said, "Let us go, and we'll butter him up and all, we'll praise him and all, and we'll make him, and then we will get these question papers, and then we can easily prepare." Why? Because I'll go through all 20 question paper. I know the answer. That's good. Idea was fantastic. They went to meet him. And after usual stuff, "Arey sir, aap to itne ye hai, mahan ho," everything happened. And then they wanted to ask. So this guy was very smart guy. So he said, "Arey yaar, I got one doubt." बोला कुछ भी होएगा doubt. Bas, this guy picked up one thick notebook and every page was full of doubts only. And he used to do this with everybody. "Arey yaar, ek doubt hai." So at sea, we always have a sense of humor. So he became Doubt Singh. Now I don't know whether he's alive or no, because he was quite old. When we were young, he was old. Maybe still around. So nobody is Doubt Singh here, huh? नहीं है.
No, sir.
But at sea, people have got good sense of humor. Huh? So sometimes they keep on coming with a lot of interesting stuff. The nicknaming is nothing abnormal, but in a good spirit, not by that sort of a stuff. That hatred type of stuff is not there. Normally, you will find somebody smiling, so his name will become Smiley. So all those things happen. And then we had one ship, chief engineers. The initials were H.O. Gupta or something. So somebody nicknamed him Heavy Oil Gupta. Then there have been lots of names like that, and all the communities. It's not just find some humor. चलो रख दो ना. फिर टाइम पास कैसे करते थे? You all have got lot of stuff today. Internet है. You can watch videos. You can do so many things. Nowadays, we had cargo ship did not have anything. Usual games if you could play. Usual game is carom, where the ship is rolling, so everything is going on its own. And then maybe cards. That's it. Or some Scrabble and or something like that. But nothing really to kill time. So people used to talk to each other. And we get interesting stuff. Huh? On one ship, I saw cadet putting one, notice on bridge. "Please eat 2 biscuits only." So I asked him, "Why are you putting some notice like that?" Then I learned second officer and ready officer were chatting on bridge for about 2 hours, and they ate 5 kilos of biscuits, one big tin. Mhm. So somebody writes, "Eat 2 biscuits." And then ships, we do mad things. There is one very senior captain. He used to be third mate those days when I was chief officer. We went to Turkey. "चलो sir, हम लोग कुछ ये करेंगे." So we ended up buying a large quantities of dry fruits. So large means really large, 10 kilos each. And then we put it on bridge. कि जरा health बनाएंगे. So eat dry fruits. We used to do a lot of mad stuff those days. Today probably people have sobered down a lot. So let us call it a day for today.